Hey everyone, and welcome. So, if you're in the middle of navigating school admissions for the 2024-25 academic year, you probably know it can feel, well, a little overwhelming. Today, we're going to demystify the entire process. We're breaking down the official admission rules for the Central Board of Secondary Education, or CBSE. Let's dive right in.
And look, if you're feeling a bit lost in it all, you are definitely not alone. It's a common feeling for parents and even for schools. You've got rules, timelines, a whole stack of documents to keep track of, and it's so easy to get confused. But don't you worry. Think of this as your clear, simple map to get you right through that maze.
We've laid this out to be as straightforward as possible. First up, we'll dig into the foundation, the rulebook itself. Then, we're going to look at the entry gates, who can actually get in. After that, we'll tackle the absolutely crucial topic of fair access for all students. And to wrap it all up, we'll give you a practical action plan you can use right away.
So let's get started with Section 1, the rulebook. Because honestly, knowing the official guidelines is the absolute first step to making this whole admission process smooth and successful for your child.
So what are we actually talking about here? Well, the CBSE Admission Bylaws are the official playbook. Every, and I mean every, CBSE-affiliated school has to follow them. They exist to make sure the entire process is legal, transparent, and fair for absolutely everyone involved.
And here's why that matters so much. These aren't just some dusty rules on a shelf. They're specifically designed to protect students and parents from random, arbitrary decisions. They create a level playing field and help ensure that every single child gets a fair shot.
All right, that brings us to Section 2, the entry gates. In this part, we're going to tackle two of the most basic but important questions. Who is actually eligible for admission, and what are the specific age requirements?
Okay, so the rules for who can get in are pretty straightforward. First, a student absolutely must have passed the previous grade from a recognized school board. Now, if a student is coming from overseas, the school needs to get an eligibility certificate from CBSE. And there are two really strict non-negotiables. Expelled students can't be admitted, and skipping a class is just not allowed.
And this leads us to a huge question, probably one that's on your mind right now. What is the right age for my kid to start school? Let's see what the official CBSE rules have to say.
For Class 1, the magic number is 6. A child needs to be at least 6 years old as of March 31st of the year they're applying. And this isn't just a random number. It's lined up with the National Education Policy, which really focuses on the developmental readiness of a child.
Let's break this down a bit more. You see, while CBSE sets that 6-year rule for Class 1, the age for pre-primary levels, think nursery or KG, is actually decided by the individual state or union territory rules. And for the higher classes, it's simple. If you've passed the previous class, your age is automatically considered valid.
And this is a really important point on inclusivity. For children with special needs, or CWSN, the system has built-in flexibility. They can get a relaxation of up to 2 years in the upper age limit, which helps ensure they get the time and support they need to thrive.
That's a perfect segue into our third section, ensuring fair access. This is about so much more than just getting in. It's about the fundamental right to an inclusive education, which is a core principle of the whole CBSE framework.
I mean, the rulebook does not mince words here. It says that schools are, and I'm quoting, strictly prohibited from discriminating against any student on the basis of gender, caste, religion, or disability. That's not a suggestion. It's a powerful, legally binding promise to protect every child. And for CWSN students, these rights get even more specific. As they should. A school cannot deny them admission. Period. On top of that, schools are required to have accessible infrastructure. We're talking ramps, proper toilets, and they have to provide accommodations like extra time in exams and have special educators on staff. It's all about creating a truly supportive learning environment.
Now, another huge piece of this fairness puzzle is the RTE quota. Under the Right to Education Act, all private schools have to reserve 25% of their seats in the entry-level classes for students from economically weaker sections and disadvantaged groups. This is a massive policy aimed at making sure a child's economic background never becomes a barrier to getting a quality education.
So what does that actually look like? Well, take a look. For every 100 seats available in a private school's entry class, 25 of them are reserved under this crucial provision. That's 1 in every 4 seats, a huge commitment to social justice.
Okay, so we've got the rules down, we know the rights. Now what do you actually do? Welcome to our final section, the Admission Action Plan. This is your practical, step-by-step guide to getting the application done and dusted.
First things first, let's talk documents. You've got to get your paperwork in order. You'll need the birth certificate, the transfer certificate or TC from the last school, mark sheets, Aadhaar for both parent and child, and some photos. And remember, if you're applying under a specific category like RTE or for a CWSN seat, you'll need those specific certificates too.
And as with so many things in life, timing is absolutely crucial. Generally, applications open up between November and February. The RTE lottery usually happens around February and March, and most admissions are finalized by April. But the one hard deadline you have to remember is August 31st. That's the final cutoff for any admissions into classes 9 through 12.
So what's the actual process? It's really not as scary as it might seem. It typically breaks down into 4 simple steps. You fill out the form, you submit all your documents, the school takes time to verify everything, and then you get that admission confirmation. See? Totally manageable.
Okay, pay attention here because this is a super common point of confusion that we really wanted to clear up. For general seats, you apply directly to the school, either on their website or at their office. But, and this is the important part, for the RTE 25% quota, you have to apply through your state's dedicated RTE online portal. They are 2 totally separate application paths. So, when you put it all together, what's the big picture? It's that the whole CBSE admission process is built on a solid foundation of rules, all designed for fairness and transparency. And understanding this structure is exactly what empowers you, as a parent, to navigate the system with confidence.
So there you have it, the rules, the rights, and the step-by-step plan. The journey to your child's education really does start with these first steps. So the only question left is, are you prepared? Thanks so much for joining us.